Back to the show, guys. Welcome back to the show. My name is Sham. This is 0xfiles. The truth is always out there. Earlier on today, I made a video. I'd done a pre-recorded video while I was stuck on traffic. I think it was about 4 p.m. ish. I can't remember. And I mentioned a few bits and bobs that I'm noticing, that good can be bad and bad can be good, and how the market doesn't look that good, yet we could have some good results coming from this. So I then posted something on Discord later on. I said, guys, this is what I'm talking about. So a invalid bull flag is now becoming a bull flag, which is a good thing. However, market bled, obviously, while I made that video. I mean, after I made that video, a few hours later, when was it? I can tell you the time. I think it was around 8 p.m. ish when the candle closed. Yeah, 9 p.m. When the candle closed around 9 p.m, it was a bad candle, right? So it was a bad candle from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. It was a bad candle, right? Let's just say that. So market bled out a little bit. It's okay, not really complaining. However, I have noticed something. So the trend is bad, but if you go on the daily, there is some good news, right? There is absolutely some good news. However, for that good news to come, we need to do something. If you don't do that by tonight, or even I would say by tonight at least, right? Because now I wouldn't say tomorrow, definitely by tonight. If we do this by tonight, we should be okay, right? And if we don't, then yeah, we're kind of screwed, right? We're kind of screwed. So we need to get to a very funny level, right? If we can get above the 67,700 ish or 67,500 ish, we should be good. Right, we should be really good. I mean, I mentioned, like on the previous video, I mentioned Solana could go down and touch the, what was it, the 130 something to 136 to the 140. We went to 141, so not exactly to there. I was off by $1, but it did hit those lower levels. Means good buying opportunity. Of course, there was a lot of bulls waiting to buy around those levels, because what we expect, everybody else expect. Few days ago, or maybe even last week, I can't remember, I did a video about BTC and what I'm seeing and what prices I'm expecting on the lower side. I was expecting the 66,000. We did get the 66,000, right, guys? Come on, right? If you don't get the fact that today we hit 65,000 something, whatever it was, right, below 66, isn't that good enough, right? So that's what I'm saying. So it's a hard one, right? When you see the market and when you're like, hold on, what's going on? This guy's excited, market's bleeding, he's excited. Yeah, I'm excited because end of the day, these are numbers that we saw. Hence why last couple of days I wasn't really bothered about making a video, because look, we've said what we needed to say, right? And it's happened, right? Also, guys, if you are here, please let me know if the audio is any good. If the audio is not good, let me know, I can fix it, right? So that's that. Yeah, it's just been pretty crazy. I know there was one brother who asked me to come on live, so if he does come on, that would be great. If not, then it doesn't matter. I will say my piece and then and then I'll go, basically. But yeah, so what we had before, and this is very important, right? I can flip the camera and show you guys as well, right? So we had something before that was the current problem, right? So we were supposed to get a bull flag, right? On the daily, we were supposed to get a nice little bull flag that points us towards the $108,000, right? And that bull flag got invalidated because we had an ascending triangle, which is not a good thing. And I've mentioned this as well, which breaks down usually. And this did break down. Now, once this breaks down, you have a couple of days. So this is not over. If anybody right now is under the impression that this is over, no, it's not over, all right? But by not being over, it becomes a better thing, right? When you start looking at things on a higher time frame, things start to make sense, right? So for me, things started to make sense. I was like, okay, I see what this is. This could be fine. We could potentially start moving forward from here, and then see what happens, right? So I see one person on YouTube. If you are here, say hi, don't be shy. And if you have any questions, obviously fire it away. Just bear in mind, I am in my car. I don't have a laptop in front of me. So yeah, I know it's a live stream, but I'm just doing it right now. So let me know if you have any questions or anything. But listen, so the market itself, right, as I said, it's the indications, all the indications I'm getting right now, it definitely wants to be bearish for a few more days. provided we can hold the 60, what was it? What did I say? The 67,000 free energy, He said, hi, damn. Awesome, my brother. Yes, damn indeed, right? Damn indeed. No, provided we can hold the 67,500-ish, right? That's the level I'm hoping for. We should be very good, right? Even if we could hold this particular level, it's okay. It's a higher low. It's okay. We don't mind, right? We can hold that. We can create a few more. It's okay. What we don't want to see, right, is go any further down. So Free Energy says, interested about your view on Solana at the moment. Definitely. We'll talk about Solana. It is one of my biggest holding right now. Biggest holding in the sense that how many coins I hold. It is one of my largest holding right now. So I have to definitely talk about that, right? And that's the one that I've been focused on a lot, right? Ethereum, not too much. Because as I mentioned before as well, Ethereum will just follow BTC. It doesn't really matter. I bought some Ethereum the other day. You buy some Ethereum, you sit on it, it will react with BTC. I could end up losing 80-90% of it, or we could pump to the moon with it. Ultimately, the bull market's not over. We know that. None of the confirmation. I mean, I can tell you the bull market for it to be over right now is about 40,000 something. So, you know, it's it's quite low. Right, so for us to dump from here to 40,000 something, what was it, 40,000? Let me see if I can activate my one. I got a little thing set up which tells me. No, it won't tell me here. I can't see it here, guys, so I can't really tell you. But there is an option where I can actually check what it was exactly. But it's 40,000. I think it's 40,000 or 42,000. That's where the bull market invalidation point happens, and then we're into a bear market. So you can see it's a large number. So by the time we find out if the bull market's over, it's a large number. However, if we do trade this market with stop losses, right, trailing stops, whatever it be, we're fine. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm not going to make this any longer. Let me jump into Solana and actually explain this better, right? So I'm going to jump into Solana, right? So I've got Sol right now. So Solana, I'm looking at it on a daily, all right? And this is quite important. I mentioned this earlier on as well on the previous video. I said, guys, we could be going down to 136 to 140, right? And it went to, I think the low was 141, right? So 141, so like $1, as I said, $1 difference. So far, all right, so far, what I can say is where we have entered. So I'm looking at the Gaussian channel. So I've got the Gaussian channel activated. But looking at where we are right now, again, it will follow. So this is quite important to understand, right? So what Solana is going to do, I'm going to explain that. But you also have to keep in mind what BTC is doing. Ultimately, if BTC itself does not perform, right, if it has a few more days of bloody, bearishness, whatever, it would also impact the market. So keep that in mind when I talk about Solana, because ultimately one is correlated with the other, especially the pumps are correlated, right? If it wasn't, I wouldn't mention it, but that's what I see. Solana right now has come back into what's known as a great buy zone, right? So Solana between 136 to 173 is actually a great buy zone. But the sad thing is Solana hasn't, because Solana's had a nice little pump and this and that, even when BTC was bearish, it created a sideways channel, and the sideways channel just broke down, right? What I'm seeing right now, I can flip it over camera. If you want me to flip the camera over, I can show you. It broke down. By breaking down, it actually doesn't really have any support. We don't have any major support on Solana. This is how bad Solana's current situation is. If it didn't pump whenever it pumped, and if it didn't dump when it dumped, right, it would have had more time to create a bigger support on the daily range, because on the daily range, all right, what I'm seeing is kind of dangerous, right? You're gonna hear this, you're gonna be shocked, right? Solana's most major support is around $26. You see how bad it becomes. Solana's biggest support is around $26. Everything above that is not even a significant support. They're very weak, right? So in order for me to see anything on Solana, find any supports on Solana, I have to jump over to the 8 hourly. And even on the 8 hourly, right, the biggest major support we have is, right, I'll tell you, $118. So the best support we have on an 8 hourly chart is $118, approximately 120, right? Between $77 and $118. So you can see how bad we've done, because we've moved, we went parabola, we went crazy all of a sudden because of the Solana meme coin ecosystem and everything was crazy, but it didn't give us supports. We don't have any support now. We have to totally rely on BTC and the market itself, right? So that's the situation we've got with Solana, which is why it's become a lot more dangerous, right? Yeah, everything's, I mean, now that we fell to close to that 136, we're probably going to touch 136. That's to be honest, right? However, if you do look at the shorter time frame and the extremely long time frame, so if we look at the 4 hourly and below, these are great buy zones. So these are the buy the dip opportunities, right? And of course, I'm not giving you any financial opinions here. No financial views, none of that business here. No financial advice. That's the key word here. Not giving you that. But this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a massive, massive buy opportunity because we are in the zone, in the technical zone, right? Especially when you're looking at the lower time frame. For example, when you look at the 4 hourly time frame, we've just entered the technical buy zone. Does that make sense, right? And then, of course, I'm going to have to flip over to a higher time frame. So, like, for example, a weekly time frame. And guess what I see? In the weekly time frame, we are coming back to a major buy area, right? We are coming back to a major buy area. So, ultimately, as I said, BTC itself this is depending on BTC. As long as BTC market continues, people will still continue to hold or at least pump, right? If not, then Solana could go down. Ultimately, this is the whole thing. Stop loss, stop loss, stop loss. Right? I think I've proved my point. From now on, I'll probably just stop talking about stop losses, because if it doesn't get to you on the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 10 freaking attempts, then it won't get to anybody. Do you know what I mean? Right? It's a sad thing. It's a sad reality. But ultimately, I come here, I tell people, guys, you want to buy something, you want to FOMO. And I've said to many people, I said, I don't care about fundamentals. During a pumpamental, you pump the shit out of it, but you make sure you put a stop loss because you need to protect your funds. We're going to reverse. I've mentioned this so many times. I know a lot of people have been hyper parabolic about it. Oh, we're going to hype. We're going to pump to the market. We're going to do 500K. We're going to do 200. I've heard these numbers, guys. I've heard all of these numbers, right? Super bulls out there. I've heard all the numbers from everybody. I'm a freaking bull too, but I'm not senseless, right? I'm not stupid. I'm not drugged up, right? I'm not high on whatever. Of course, I'm high on my little vape. But what else? Do you know what I mean? I'm being real here. I tell you guys that, look, the market itself, yes, it's going, we've pumped and this and that. But the reality is it's going to flip any second. I've been talking about that. Was I bearish? No, I wasn't bearish. I was just being logical. I was saying, look, what's happened is happened. But if everything doesn't align with us, then we got a problem. You understand? We end up looking at news and a lot of the guys start hyping. Oh, look, this guy's bought at 70K. Someone's bought $1 billion worth at 70K. Guess what? He's probably been responsible for dumping, right, $1 billion to bring it down to the price he wants to buy. Right? A lot of these guys, remember, a lot of these institutions, they don't buy with their money. Do you think they got money? Institutions don't have money. They buy with people's money. They buy with shareholders' money. They buy with investors' money. Do you think they buy with their money? Do you think they give a shit? They don't. So that's the situation. But as I said, for me right now, when I'm looking at a really extreme high time frame, and free energy, if you're still here, my brother, I hope the audio is good. This is a great opportunity. Of course, we need one more candle now. Sadly, we need one more candle. Ideally, we want the Sunday to close, and then Monday, the new candle that we're going to get, we want to observe that candle. As long as that candle is not a bearish candle, we're in the game. If it becomes a bearish candle, then we're out. But until that happens, we can't say anything. You know what I mean? So you're now going to have to zoom in and zoom out, right? So for your daily observations, you want to go into the lowest time frame possible, 1 hour, 4 hour, 8 hour, whatever you choose. Be there, because that's what's going to give you the in time, right? So your time frame or your trading time is going to give you that energy, the indication there, right? So you'll be able to observe what's going to happen there. But when you're going to the weekly, you're going to see what the greater data is, what the longer time frame data is showing. And right now, all I'm seeing opportunities, right? But opportunities come at a cost. Cost is that it could dump further. So in order to protect yourself, stick a freaking stop loss in there. And these are the buy zones, right? These are the opportunities that people look for in the market, right? So that's what I'm looking at. Um, of course, like for me, as I said, I'm a holder. That's one. I'm a holder. I would love to see Solana now. With Solana, let me explain with Solana. Solana, where we are right now, is a freaking dangerous area. As I said, it's a good buy the dip area, but if it bleeds, then it's going to be chaos for everybody. So what we want Solana to do, and this is quite, you know, crazy, but it's real. We need Solana to go to $166. And I actually shown you this number before as well. So we need it to go back to $166. If it doesn't go to $166 again, it does not recover by today or tomorrow, it doesn't recover, we are screwed. Because again, using the Gaussian channel, we've entered the channel. We shouldn't enter the channel. Whenever we enter the channel, we become bearish. That's all I'm saying. However, the stochastic RSI is pointing okay. So maybe there's a bit of luck there. So for me, I'm still going to hold. By the way, I'm going to hold. I don't have a stop loss on Solana, but I am going to now consider putting a stop loss in there so that at least my profits and some initials for the recent buys is still held in place, right? So yes, there are some losses. There's a lot of losses that have happened right now on some of the coins. You know, I've bought recently, like Ethereum, I've bought recently, but I didn't buy Ethereum. So this is the fun part. I didn't buy the Ethereum to hold or anything like this. I bought it for something else, but then it was just on the side, and that's bled. So you know what, I've lost some. It's okay, I'm not complaining, right? Because other gains will rebalance it, so it's okay, I'm not too fussed. But as I said, these are great buying opportunities. However, with Solana right now, if it doesn't recover to 166, it's gonna go down, and there is no support, right? There is absolutely nothing significant, right? When I look at this, just especially the daily supports, there is nothing, guys. There is nothing. These are tiny supports, 118, 120, you know, just around $100, 70 something dollars. They're nothing. We cannot afford to see it go to lower levels. Of course, if it goes, you start dollar cost averaging. That's all you can do. But other than that, nothing else. I know some people will blame the meme coin traders. No, it's got nothing to do with them. It's got nothing to do with the meme coin traders, right? In fact, if you're holding whole bags of meme coin right now, with the Solana price dumping and the meme coin price not changing, now you might end up having more Solana than you started with, right? That's the reality. So probably your meme coins are going to help you have more Solana than you started with. So that's the reality here. You know what I mean? Because as I said, the market itself, too many people focus on too many different coins. But what I figured is if I focus on the one with the biggest dominance, it always works for me. And that's what I've been doing so far. My entire navigating of this market has been with BTC. I just use BTC to navigate the market, full stop. Where are we right now? Bullish, bearish, let's use BTC, right? And of course, altcoins and other coins, they pump or dump harder. You know what I mean? They pump or dump harder. So yeah, sad reality, but that's what it is. And of course, if I see the number, then believe me, other people also see the number. So where we are right now, by the way, BTC, I've gone back to BTC on the daily. Yes, it's down. It's okay. It's a higher low. It's not a lower low. That's what I would be worried about. All right, it's a higher low. It's okay, right? We're still in part of the trend is still up. That's the key. So if you put a trend line from any candle and then connect 2-3 dots, right, or 2-3 points. In fact, when I do it, I actually connect it to the 28th of February. So I'm making my trend line from the 28th of February, right, to, I'll tell you where. So this, if you do it from the 28th of February to the 3rd of April, your trend line, you'll see, right? Just put it on the bottom, you'll see what I mean, right? So yes, we're below the trend line, but ultimately this is fine, all right? It's just what I was talking about on the, not the last video, the one before that, actually, what I was talking about, that look, guys, it's not a flag. Do you know what I mean? It's not a flag, and this is a pattern that breaks down, and that's exactly what's happened. So it took a couple of days for it to break down. I mean, I think I mentioned on Monday. Yeah, it was Monday. I mentioned it on Monday, so it's been freaking almost a week. So yeah, a bit sad, but that's what it is. So free energy, you want to know my thoughts? My thoughts are, I'm going to be trying to buy the dips more. If I got some more cash, I want to buy some more Solana. I still think Solana has a potential. It's still my top 3 coin, still one of my top 3 coin, because this season, each season I might change things around. This season I had BTC, Ethereum, and Solana, right? I did play around with Say. You guys all know how I played about with Say. I'm not talking about Say anymore. Why? I dumped it, right? I had a target 104. I sold it at 104. After that, I haven't looked at it again, right? I do still hold some Sui, but let's see what Sui does, kind of bleeding out. But it's not a significant amount for me to worry about. So I'm not concerned. Honestly, I'm not concerned. So that's what that is. But other than that, if there's anything else you want to talk about, let me know. But yeah, the state of the market is not good at all, right? Let's have a look at total. Yeah, so total market cap. Funny thing, this is funny, right? This is quite funny. If you look at total market cap, the pattern is exactly the same as Solana, which is not good, by the way. It is not good. We don't want to see Solana. We don't want to see the total market cap sitting where it is right now, right? I mean, that was a big dip, right? Where is it? Yeah, we went to like almost 2.3, close to 2.3 trillion, or yeah, close to 2.29 trillion dollars. That's not a good thing, right? Especially when we've gone all the way high as 2.72 trillion dollars, right? Coming back down this much, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. So it's like $500 billion below where we should be. But as long as we're in the game, we should be going forward. But I wouldn't really focus too much on how high we go. I'll be focusing more on how low we might go, or if we can build a support. Supports are the most important thing. I don't care about resistance. We're going to go there. We're either going to tap it, come back down again, all right, or we're going to break through and create new all-time highs. It's okay, right? What's the worry about? You make money, right? But supports are very important, because if we cannot hold the support, we're in trouble. We're in trouble, and we do not want to fall below $2 trillion. I'm sure there was few videos before I talked about this. Like, look, we can even go down to $2 trillion. It's okay, as long as we don't go below that. And I hope you all understand these have all come to fruition, all right? And there's more to come to fruition. I've said, a lot of you guys, I know you watch all my videos. Sometimes you probably miss bits. Go and watch them again. Believe me, go and watch them again. There are numbers I've said, right, which are there. You know what I mean? I'm not hiding anything. They're all there. And that's why I say the truth is always out there. I've given you numbers. I said how low I could expect it to go, how long it would be, how low would be okay for me. All of those there, right? But there's one reality, and that's the reality is BTC is still holding or staying above, let's say $66,000, right? Or even $60,000. That's a good number. Focus on that, right? Don't focus on all the bad energy that comes with, all the juju that comes with it, because you get all the crap that people just like to throw out there, right? And especially with the FOMO and everything. Oh man, it's either hype or FUD, right? There's no balance in between, and that's why, like, whenever there's FUD, I'm like, okay, guys, you need to understand that. Okay, this might end. So I like to throw in my little kind of mix in there, you know. So yeah, I mean, if I see the number, they also see the number. Currently, we're sitting at 67,115 and rising, which is not a bad thing. We're still, so the time now is 11:42 p.m. in the UK, and this is still the 12th of April, 2024. Right, so this is kind of a like little emergency live stream, and I did it for Free Energy anyway. He asked for it. So Free Energy, if you're still here, thank you very much. Audio is great. Appreciate that for the feedback, because you know, when I'm making these videos, I can't tell what the audio is. Only you can tell me what the audio is. So if there is any other questions, let me know. I hope I answered your question. If I haven't, tell me. I'll go back in and I'll answer it. I don't know what you're expecting, but that's the reality. That's the truth, right? I still think there's a massive opportunity, because Solana ecosystem has matured a lot. The ecosystem, the meme coin ecosystem hasn't stopped on Solana. So Solana's become the meme coin blockchain. It hasn't stopped. Every day there's hundreds and hundreds of coins coming, and majority of them are on Solana, right? And the worst thing is you get most of the rugs, like, you know, when you do statistically, right, most of the rugs are happening on Solana. But do you think anyone gives a shit? No. All right, people are still degenning, people are still aping out there. Reason is Solana's fee is so low, right? Yes, launching a coin on Solana is expensive, but fees are very low. So a lot of people just prefer just going buying, trading, and some people even get lucky, you know, buy off chance. Some people, while the manipulators and the scammers are trying to scam you, some people get lucky and they manage to sell out and get out quickly. You know what I mean? So if it works, it works. Up and coming chain, base chain, I've thought about doing something on there. I was going to do something with the community, haven't done anything, but you know what? I might even do something and then just deliver it to them or whatever. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? I don't really care. Listen, guys, I'm here for you guys, but sometimes things get a bit overwhelming. Sometimes, you know, you got mountains on your shoulders and it's just not easy and shit happens. You know what I mean? So, yeah, you know. Let's see, you know. But if there's anything else, guys, you want me to talk about, please do forward your message and we'll talk about it. My name is Sham. This is 0xfiles. The truth is always out there. And I've given my truth, right? The videos are still there. So you're welcome to go and view them. Some of them are on live, some of them are normal videos. You're welcome to go and view them again and see for yourself or listen for yourself what I've said over the past week or two. Depending on the video, I mean, some videos are mixed up and this and that, conspiracies and whatnot. But when it came to the charts, I've given my point of view. I've given you my estimation. I mean, I was with Free Energy the other day and we talked about predictability and probabilities and how we identify certain patterns and then what kind of, right? I think he got it, right? I think he got it. But I talked about how I identify patterns and, you know, how I'm able to kind of guess what the next number is going to be. There are more to it, of course. There are more to it. So yeah, I hope the video is informative. Like, share, subscribe, all of those good stuff. Get the algorithm going. I know this is a unannounced kind of a video, but I've done it anyway. It doesn't matter. And yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. And just as I said, bear in mind that I am in the car. I don't have a laptop with me, but I do have my car screen here, which does have the trading view chart, which I can see. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit because BTC is not showing. Oh, sorry guys, I'm just tired. BTC is not showing any signs of. So yeah, so BTC last 3 hours. We did recover. So last 4 hours, kind of, we started to do a recovery. Right now, we've got 13 minutes remaining to the recent hourly candle. So we're about to hit 12 o'clock here. And it's showing signs of bearishness. Question is it showing signs of bearishness everywhere or just that? No. So good thing is it's not really showing everything, signs of bearishness everywhere. I see RA here. Also, my brother, nice to see you. Thank you very much for coming to the show. So I'm just tired, stressed. You can see it probably. Do I have any more of this? No, I don't. I was going to look for some drink. Just tired, you know, just knackered, you know. Especially like, you know, when the market's like really bullish or really bearish and sometimes panic sets in. I get a lot of people asking a lot of questions, a lot of calls. Oh, what do you think is going to happen? And a lot of people will ask me these crazy questions, right? Like, for example, oh, how low do you think we're going to go? Are we going back to $20,000? No. Come on, guys. Come on. You could do better than that. Do you know what I mean? You could do better than that. RA says, this market isn't helping. Actually, it's helping. This is the, okay. So if you, perspective matters, right? So perception is that you are seeing this market bleed out and you think this is bad. That's perception. But if you have perspective, this is actually opportunities. Opportunities before a bigger move. That's what's important, right? So these are opportunities that happen before the bigger moves, right? And now ultimately, as I said, when we talk about before and after, there is one thing that we have to always take into account is that for us to find out if the bull market ends, we will have to go down to a very low number to confirm if the bull market ends. Until then, we can't tell, right? In fact, I'll go to BTC and I'm going to go to 1 week, right? And this is really, really powerful stuff, right? Right. So here's, all right. So for us to confirm, I mean, right now we're bearish, which is fine. We're doing a little bear run, which is fine, right? So for us to confirm, if we start becoming bearish, we have to go below $63,000. Then when $63,000 come, for us to confirm that we are bearish, we have to get to $50,000 or $52,000. So you see these numbers, right? They're big numbers. So these drops are massive, right? From 66,900 right now, $67,000 to 63 doesn't seem much. And it's true, it's not much because it's a higher number. But then from 63 to $50,000, that's a massive number. That's a massive number. That's like almost like, I don't know, 11, 12 grand, right? Whatever it is, right? 63,500 all the way to $52,000, right? That's like 11 grand. So an 11 grand dip confirms that we're in a freaking bear market. Do you know what I mean? So these are the hard things. These are things you don't want to mess with. Of course, I can move into the smaller time frame, daily, 3 days, 2 days, 5 days, whatever. I mean, for example, if I go 5 days, then it gives me a whole different data. 5 days says to me that the 5 days gives me an entire different data. It says if we fall below 61,000, then we're bearish. So you see what I mean? It's giving me a whole different data, right? And then if it says if we did dump, then the dump could take us to 51,200, right? So you see what I mean? So the data changes. I can go to lower time frames, but ultimately, even then, the numbers are quite significant. This is what you have to understand. So there's no way of confirming whether we're in a bear market until we hit those numbers, right? So that's what we don't want. This is one of the reasons why I said whatever happens today, we need to have, or at least today, tomorrow, even tomorrow, for the sake of it, right? Even say tomorrow. If we can get back above the 67,500, we're fine, guys. All right. We knew we were going to come and probably touch the 66,000. We've done it, right? We've done it. So, yeah, I've been seeing Bitcoin ETH going up and down for a few days now. Yeah, I mean, depends on what time frame you're looking at, right? When you're talking about few days now, you got to look at what time frame you're looking at, right? Just by looking at it on a single day doesn't mean anything, because every day has to be confirmed by the previous day, right? So here's a good example. Yesterday, so yesterday's candle was a confirmation candle for the previous day. Today's candle is a confirmation for yesterday. So yesterday we were what would you call this? Uncertain. We were uncertain whether we want to go up or down. So we didn't make our minds up whether we're going to go up or down. So what happened? Today's candle said, no, we're going to go down. So there are candles that will show us uncertainty, which means it has a wick on the top and a wick on the bottom. Those are uncertain candles. So those are the high risk candles, right? No, ETH didn't. No, ETH didn't break its all-time high. ETH hasn't gone anywhere near its all-time high. ETH was, the last time we checked the ETH high, local high, ETH was still about 25% below its all-time high or something like this. It was some weird number. It was still below. That's what I was mentioning to everyone. I said, guys, Ethereum still has loads of room to go and touch. So I talked about this on a video where I was talking about Solana and Ethereum and doing a little bit of a comparison, and the other markets as well. I can't remember. I think it was DOT. I was talking about DOT. And what I said was DOT has like 500% to go, right? Until its previous all-time high. So DOT 2.0, what's it going to do? Nothing, because there's a long way to go. But when you look at Solana, it wasn't that far. Solana went to 208, I believe it was. It was only, what, $50 away. So again, when you look at the percentage, it wasn't that bad. It was very close to its all-time high. Ethereum was also very close to its all-time high. So I wanted to bet on the horses that are closer to the finish line, because just in case they might finish. Yes, they might not give me the biggest gains, but they're going to be, they have more probability to go to the finish line. Does that make, and finish line for me is the all-time high. I've mentioned to you guys many times. I said, it doesn't matter what I see. It doesn't matter that I see $108,000 BTC. It doesn't matter that I see a $225,000 BTC. None of that matters. The all-time high is the number we want to be. When we beat that, we've got a new all-time high. That's how we should focus, you know, taking baby steps. I've talked about it so many times. So no, ETH didn't break its all-time high. ETH has a long way to go, right? In fact, I'm going to zoom into ETH to tell you what the all-time high price was. ETH's previous all-time high was 4,868. The local high we've had was 4,090. That was the local high we've had. So we were still $800 away from its previous all-time high, right? Solana's not disappointing. So listen, it depends on, again, perspective and perception, right? Solana, there's like, we talked about Solana back in 2023, or I think it was earlier 2022, during the FTX collapse, after the FTX collapse, I think it was 2022. We talked about how Solana was around $10, $12, and we talked about how even though it dumped all the way down to $8, the community held. It was stronger. It didn't suffer like Luna, and you know, Luna crashed and a few others crashed, right? It didn't suffer like those, and it showed strength, right? And I said, just buy and hold, you know, whatever you can, just buy and hold. So a lot of people have been buying and holding since then. I know people who bought it around the $12, $15 mark, $18 mark, $20 mark. These are various people that I know that have bought. Even like some people who missed it, they bought it at $30, at $40. So if you have perspective and look at that, then even at today's price, they're still in profit. Someone who bought at $30, well, he's still up. Do you know what I mean? Someone who bought at $20, of course he's up, right? So there are some people who are, you know, 5, 6x, if not more, right? Depending on when they bought it. So that's what you got to understand. I mean, I even know a friend, he's been holding Solana since it was £5 a coin. £5 a coin, and that's not this season. He's been holding it since last cycle. He's still holding. He's like, bro, I'm still holding. I got no reason to sell, and those cash that I put in was not there for a year, 2 years. Was not there for just bear markets and bull markets. I just wanted to put money down. I picked Solana because he asked me back then, and he put it into Solana, and he's just been sitting on it. He's like, I'm still sitting on it. So he's obviously seen a nice little gain, right? He's put a couple of grand in there, so he's got a decent amount of funds in there. He hasn't cashed out any. He's like, for what? You know. So RA says bigger high coming soon. We have to be hopeful. Again, the technicals aren't there right now. I can't give you an absolute guaranteed, you know, news here to say, yes, it's absolutely going to go high or no. Right now, we need to observe the candles, zoom in or out. So we don't want to look at the ones in between, because that's just trying to connect the dots. They're not going to give us accurate data. For us to see more accurate data, what we need to do is zoom into the lower time frames, the hourly and the 4-hourly time frames, to see what the market is doing within those time frames. Is it bearish? Is it bullish? And does it print higher highs, or, you know, better candles? Let's just say, does it print better candles or bad candles, right? That's how what we do when we zoom in. And also when we're zooming out, right, to maybe like 5 days or maybe like a week, I would say a weekly candle, then we want to see where is that candle right now, right? It's very important for us to see that, right? So Ethereum, when I look at Ethereum, it's quite funny what I'm seeing on Ethereum on the weekly, right? On the weekly, it's showing me signs of not a major bull flag, but a mini bull flag on a weekly. That's a powerful, powerful data, right? When we look at this is showing us some powerful stuff, saying, look, you've got this bull flag on the weekly forming for some time, and the flag part of it has just formed. But we don't want to see it go too far, because if it goes any longer, then it invalidates itself. We don't want this to go forever, going down forever. That's not a bull flag. That becomes a freaking bear market. We don't want to see that. Ideally, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles to create the flag, right? So when you look at, say, imagine this, right? So you create a flag like this, and this is the thing. It's done that. Ideally, now we want to freaking shoot. That's what we're going to do. Now, we can't do that because remember, we also have approximately a week, I think a little bit less than a week, or no, sorry, a little bit more than a week remaining for the halvening. So that's also has to be factored in there, right? Not just the market, not just the price, because right now this is pure price action, right? This is pure price action and a whole bunch of liquidations as well from the fools. Because if they knew how to trade it properly, they would easily trade this without an issue, right? Stop loss, stop loss, stop loss. Right. Anyway, but so where we are right now, this is perfect, right? When you start looking at the body of the candle, especially on the Ethereum, you can flip it over to a line chart and it will show you this on a weekly. It's a flag. So we definitely have a flag. Now we want to make a move, right? Whether we call it an ABC pattern, whatever, it's a flag, right? So it's not it's good data. Do you know what I mean? So it should be coming. We should get a big move. But of course, news, FUD, and all the BS that comes around with the internet, right? It won't help anybody. It won't help anybody. So, yeah, what can you say? Do you know what I mean? What can you say? There's only a few people that I know who have put stop losses, few people that I know who, you know, understand what I'm saying and who react to what I'm saying, but other people, you know, so, but yeah, we can hope for a high. RA, we can hope for a high, bro. But Ethereum, as I said, definitely, if we did make a move from here, there's a great potential we can break the new all-time high and actually possibly go and tap 5k, 5.5k, easily go and tap that if we did break current level. So that's not a bad thing. Probably even do a new high like around that level. So yeah, the potential's there. We could easily go and tap the at least the previous all-time high, right? At least we could do this. That could definitely happen, right? So again, when I'm looking at high, really high, deadly, dangerous high levels, right? When I look at the 2 weekly, yeah, it's giving me signs of a bull flag. 2 weekly, definitely a bull flag. So good stuff here. You know, you just gotta, it's perception, perspective, important. But on BTC, I don't have any of that, right? BTC, the bull flag just didn't happen. It didn't happen because of last couple of weeks, right? What we did the last 2 weeks messed us up, absolutely messed us up, right? Don't know what happened. I don't know why it happened. I'm sure there's people manipulating it. They fucked up, excuse my language, but they literally fucked up the whole entire flag. They created a flag that has nothing, no significance, right? It's a complete freaking mess, right? You know what I mean? It's like putting a flag on the moon, right? Where there's no, apparently there's no atmosphere, nothing, there's no air, nothing, there's no movement. They created that. That's bad. What do you think will happen to Bitcoin if they introduce a central digital currency? Nothing will happen to Bitcoin. Bitcoin potentially, depending on how many decentralized people have it or hold it, Bitcoin potentially be worth a lot more, right? What will happen to the people holding the central digital currency or CBDC, right? That's a whole different story. People could be prevented from entering crypto because people, that's like, you know, like the social credit system in China, where based on your credit system, you can't buy certain things or you can't get a job or you can't do certain things. That, you know, that kind of drama that goes on, right? That's exactly what CBDC is going to do. CBDC is going to say, you earn a total of 40 grand a year. Well, you're not allowed to spend more than, so you have your lifestyle, you pay your rent, bills, this, that, whatever. You have remaining, say, 5 grand. Well, that's all you have. So how can you invest 15k? That's what CBDC is going to do. Put pure control over you. You know, nowadays we get a warning saying, oh, investing in cryptocurrencies is high risk and this and that, whatever. You could lose all your money if you agree with all of these things, X, Y, Z. Well, later on, it's going to be, oh, you only have 5 grand surplus. You can't invest that. And you'll be completely blocked out. That's what's going to happen. So the difference, you've got to understand the difference. They will have absolute total control over everybody, right? Your money, everything. So, you know, if we're looking at 2030, you want to get the fuck out. You want to get the fuck out. Trust me, because CBDC is going to be a prison system. It's going to be literally a prison system, right? Where they decide how much you can spend or how much you should spend, where you can spend it, what you can do, how far you can travel, what you can own, right? That's what's going to happen. So, that's just the beginning. That's just the beginning. Don't get me started on it, but that's just the beginning, believe me, right? CBDC is just the beginning to total domination, total control by the governments, right? There's no freedom, believe me. And the worst thing is they have two types of CBDC. They have one for us and one for them. And they are allowed to do whatever we aren't. It's the most unfair financial system ever being created. And guess what? Most of the people in the first world country will have absolutely no power, no control. Doesn't matter how much you shout and scream. All right, you're going to starve to death if they choose to, right? So people talk about homelessness and this and that in some areas. Believe me, there will be more people probably potentially becoming homeless because the government decides you become homeless. They criticize China a lot, but they are a lot worse in secret. It's true. So China is a communist country that is more capitalist than the capitalist countries, right? Capitalist countries, right? Yes, China definitely is a dictatorship, doesn't have any democracy or whatever, all right? Looks like it, because when you have the same person going in power over and over, technically it's a dictatorship. It doesn't matter if they're in there for 1 term, 2 term, 3 term, right? Anything more than 2 term, in my opinion, is a dictatorship, right? But they're more capitalist than communist, because through the government, whatever, their country is growing. People in China are becoming rich. Do you know what I mean? China does prevent people from taking their money out of China. That's fine. But China says, grow, be rich in my country. Don't take the money out. Why do you want to go and invest in another country? Right? I don't know where you're from, but my heritage comes from Bangladesh. Bangladesh says the same thing, right? Bring the money in, invest the money, do whatever, become millionaires, billionaires, whatever, right? And you're allowed to. Don't take the money out of the country. Why do you want to take the money out of the country for? So you're rich, you can do whatever you want, just don't take it out. So what do we get here? You can't be rich. You can't be rich. You can't spend your money. Actually, best thing is send your money out wherever, all right? But you're limited to what you can do. Do you know what I mean? This is more of a communist country than, and there's a few others, right? Just by disguise, they are democracies and capitalist countries. There's nothing capitalist here. Maybe a few individuals, and everyone takes credit for that. There's nothing. We don't have capitalism here, right? We do not have capitalism here. It's a complete freaking. I don't even think we have. This country, like, put it this way, this country is more communist than anything else. But I don't want to go into that deep stuff. I'm not into political stuff, but it's disgusting. It's disgusting how you see a country deprive its people to be more wealthy, right? The country itself would be rich as fuck, right? If more people were able to make more wealth and keep more wealth. But this country, you make wealth, you got to give it all away, right? And the more you make, the more you give away. And the rules are just messed up, right? It's all about take, make nothing, right? They want to take. They want you to make nothing, right? Ultimately, they want you to own nothing and be happy. Like you own a mortgage in a house. That's not your house. That's the bank's houses. You're still renting from the house. So you bought a house that you'd rent from the mortgage company. That's the reality. You don't own the house. Okay, you sell the house. You still got a mortgage. You sell the house. No problem. You got to pay the mortgage man back before you take any profits. You know what I mean? So you don't own the house. You go and finance a car. No problem, right? What happens? You own. Somebody else owns your car. You don't own your car. In fact, on the current in UK DVLA vehicle registration document, it says just because you have your name on this doesn't mean you own the car. It says that black and white. What else do you want? You know what I mean? You don't own nothing. You don't own nothing. No, people. This is what I'm saying. There's only a handful of people who are capitalists, and they are capitalizing on everybody else. The rich are capitalizing on the poor. That's the capitalism we have here. All right? That's the capitalism we have here, right? Our governments, in the name of, oh, we're going to help you with startup funding and this and that, go and do business and go and do whatever. You go and you say, right, okay, I want to open a business, I want to do something. And you go to the government and you say, right, can we get some funding? And they'll be like, what is it? You give them a list and they'll give you 50 other things and make it your life difficult so you can't do it. It's like you're doing a PhD to do a business. I'm not even joking. When you go and do a business proposal, right, and you're just an entrepreneur, you're not bothered about education or whatnot, or you've studied up to a certain level, business degree, whatever, and you go up there and you say, right, I want to do this. The first few forms are the easy ones, right? They kind of hook you in, right? And then it's like you got to do a freaking PhD. They want you to do an academic PhD paper, right? Some sort of a fucking, so you can get a, so it's like, what the hell? Do you have any intention to actually give anybody anything? Clearly not. Do you know what I mean? That's the reality. That's what you got to understand. They make it sound easy. Like, for example, crypto is legal in UK. No, it's not. They tell you it's legal and then they do everything to prevent you from entering. Every blockade that they can put on. And CBDC is going to be just that. It's going to be a complete block on what you can do with your money. Right? That's the reality. So, sad. It's sad. I mean, there would have been more millionaires and billionaires in UK than a handful that we have. Right? And even the handful that we have aren't even in the UK anymore. They've left. Right? What's his name? Richard Branson, right? Virgin Atlantic. He's left. Why? Because fuck it. This is boring. He's left it, right? Because it's bullshit. He knows that. People who become rich in this country or are originally from this country, they leave UK. They reside somewhere else. They register the business somewhere else. For what? Because the UK government is so corrupt and so crooked, they do not help the people. Right? There are all sorts of tax loopholes and whatnot, but even that doesn't help. Individuals can't hold on to their wealth because of the way the system is designed. You know, it just doesn't work. You know, honestly, it's just messed up. I'm telling you. It's a sad reality. Sad reality. I mean, in my opinion, crypto is a whole different world, is a whole different universe, right? Where I can do what I want, when I want, without any permission. To me, it's permissionless. Do you know what I mean? And it doesn't matter how much you have or how little you have. Ultimately, as long as you're in there, you're fine. Yes, people are going to argue, well, you can't really do much with crypto. Actually, you can if you know how, right? Oh, we can't use it for everyday use. Fine. If that's what you want it, why do you need crypto? If you got everyday use, you use fiat. Go and use your dirty fiat, right? But if you're planning to save for a better future, a better life, well, believe me, crypto will mature enough that it will equally work as your normal currency does. It will just be another currency on the side. You know what I mean? It will be there. It will always be there. You know, are the shitcoins going to be there? I don't know, right? I don't know. But I know the major ones are going to be there, right? So have a look at that. You know what I mean? Just think about it that way. As I say, perception and perspective really matters. What we see is one thing, but what's really happening could be an entire different thing. You know, could be an entire different thing. So let's see what happens. But yeah, well, BTC definitely needs to recover. Honestly, it needs to reset. If it doesn't reset, it's going to be messed up. Yeah, 4 hourly just turned bearish. I'm not happy with that. Have a look at 1 hourly. Okay, 1 hourly, battling it out. It's a higher low on the hourly. It's a higher low compared to what we had a few hours ago. And I can tell you how low we went. We went 65,197. That's the lowest we went to, which obviously is not a happy thing. Do you know what I mean? It's not a happy thing. So yeah, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, we need to recover, guys. We need to recover. In fact, I've just seen something on the hourly. Yeah. So the number I was talking about, we have to get above the 67,500. If we don't, then we're messed up, right? Other than that, guys, if there's any other questions, let me know. I'll give you a quick lowdown on the actual prices as well. So right now time is 12:13, so 12 a.m. and 13 minutes in the UK. So officially we have hit 13th of April 2024. Total market cap is $2.36 trillion. BTC is currently sitting at 66,914. Ethereum is sitting at 3,218. Solana is sitting at $151. And the rest doesn't really matter because they're just going to follow the market. When BTC dumps 10%, everything else dumps 20%. Do you know what I mean? So there's no point, right? Like BTC dumped 4%, Ethereum dumped 8%, Solana dumped 12%. So you can see some of the coins outperform BTC even in the bearish way. That's the reality. So it will be, listen guys, if you have watched the video to the end, the last thing I can advise you is go back, look at your coins that you're holding, and I hope you don't hold hundreds of coins. Look at those coins, and ideally, please tighten up your stop losses if you haven't already. I'm not telling anyone to dump and get out and this and that. At least put some stop losses just in case the market bleeds even further. Go. I'm not going to be the guy who tells you bring more money and go and buy the dip. No, you don't need to buy. This is, if you listen to my videos or watch my videos from when this bull market started, I've said one thing: rinse and repeat. Make the profit, put a stop loss, take those, lock in those profit, and then rebuy again. So you right now you should be able to rebuy as more coins than you had before. Do you know what I mean? So that's the key here. I hope everybody understands. But hopefully, I'm not going to say anything yet, but I'm just hoping the market does recover. Of course, when I see a sign that says it's going to recover, or anything, I will definitely update you guys. Probably even do a live or whatnot, and then move from there. So let's see. As I said, you know, market looks like it wants to bleed a little bit more, but ultimately, let's see what happens. You know, yeah. Yeah, not good, guys. Not good at all. Not good at all. It's quite funny. Every time I do a live stream, I've noticed there's one person on Twitch. Always one person on Twitch. So that's also one person on Twitch. But I don't know if they're messaging here or if they're messaging there, but I can't see any messages in it, so I'm not sure. I don't know who that one person on Twitch is. But yeah, I mean, those of you guys who have come here, thank you very much. I do appreciate you guys. The video is almost an hour, 57 minutes and 20 seconds now. I'm not going to make this any longer. Yeah, I hope the video was informative. Like, share, subscribe if you found value. If you didn't, well, what can I do? Can't help you anymore. You know what I mean? I can only say what I know or what I feel or what my opinions are. Other than that, there's really nothing else I could actually tell you guys, because it is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm not going to make stuff up for you. I'm going to fake it out there. You know, I'm going to go write some script and put all of this stuff there. Here's a list of the things I need to talk about, right? No, this is all freestyle. It is what it is. Market is what the market is. Ultimately, it's a matter of perspective, a matter of perception. Remember, what you see sometimes is completely different, because you're like perception, you're seeing with your feelings, your five senses. But when you see with perspective, you're not looking at any of these things. You just got to look where the market is right now, what the market is doing, and what it all means for us. You know, BTC, yeah, if we break through this $66,000 level, then yeah, we're going to 63 and possibly even lower, right? And we don't want it to go there, guys. We do not want it to go there. So please pray that we don't go there. Thank you very much, RA. I appreciate that. Thank you, Free Energy, for coming to the show and actually asking for this, because I know you asked for it, so that's why I did it anyway. So yeah, best of luck to everybody. Please think with a clear head. Don't fall for the FOMO trap. Don't fall for the FUD traps, right? Think with a clear head. Plan and execute your plans, right? Whatever your plans are, execute your plans. That's the key here. But yeah, as I said, BTC, where we are right now, we could potentially have a few more days of bearishness. There is no reason not to. A few more days, I would say. which coincidentally takes us to the end of the week anyway. So then we need to observe the weekly candle to see what next week's Monday's candle is. If Monday's candle becomes or even opens slightly positive, I don't want to see a massive positive, because that's what happened last week. Last week Monday's candle was the wrong candle. We didn't want to see that. That was a bad candle. We don't want to see that. We want to see a good, nice, steady candle. Nothing pumping all the way to the moon. No, we don't want that, because they're the worst ones. So if we do get a good candle, ideally I could then turn around and say, right guys, this is what's happening, this is not. So other than that, guys, appreciate you guys coming over. I'm going to catch you guys on another one very soon. Adios, my amigos. Right.